What is up everybody, this is Aniket from Codit. In this video we're going to be creating the hamburger menu animation that I showed you in my previous video. If you have missed it out, check this video that I have linked in cards, and I've linked this video in my description box as well, so you can go and watch the preview of the project that we're going to create today. Now without any further ado, let's get started. So to start, we'll first create a file called index.html. Now in here I'll give an exclamation mark, and that will create a boilerplate for me, and here in title I'll give hamburger menu animation. And now without writing anything in this body, I'll create another file called style.css and one more called main.js, like this. So we have HTML, CSS and JS. Now in this head, after this title, I'll create a link tag. Inside this I'll link my style.css file, and after that I'll create a script file. In src I will link my main.js file, like this. So let me hit a save, and here in body if I write h1 hello world, and if I open it with live server like this, so let me close it up, and here we are. So this was very basic. Now I want to remove this hello world, and here I want to create a div with the class of hamburger menu, and inside this I'll create two divs called bar with id of bar1 and bar2, like this. So this is it for our HTML. This is it. Now we'll move on to our CSS, and in CSS let me just increase the size a bit so it is easier for you to see. Maybe this would work. Okay. Now here I'll give some basic stylings to my universal operator and to my pseudo elements. Padding of 0, margin of 0, boxes in border box as I always do. Grab on my body, give it a height of 100 ph, width of 100%, background of 12112, like this. And now I also want to align everything in the middle, so I'll add display flex, justify, content, center, align items, center. So what these three lines are doing is they are centering everything in the very middle of this body tag. Okay, so if you do not know how to work with flexbox, so for now just understand that these three lines are aligning everything in the middle of this tag. And if you want a detailed video on this flexbox, you can just comment down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely create a dedicated video on flexbox. Now moving ahead, we'll grab on hamburger menu, give it a height and width. Height would be maybe 1.5 rem, width would be 4 rem, and just to show you I'll also add border 1 pixel solid, f7, like this. Save that, and now here we have our hamburger menu. Now what I want is I'll go on to bar, and to every bar I'll give height of 2 pixels, width of 100%, and background of f7. Hit a save, come here, and if I zoom in, so here so here we have those two bars with 2 pixels height, but we cannot see just because they both are of the same color. So if I add border bottom 1 pixel solid, let's say red, so we'll now see that we have 2 bars over here. Okay, great. Now we'll remove this. We do not want this early border. Now after this I want one bar to be at the top, one to be at the bottom. So how can we do that? So to bar I'll give position absolute, like this. And since we are giving position absolute to this bar, to the parent element of this bar, that is hamburger menu, I'll add a position, and in this case I want to add it relative. Now this will do nothing, this will cause no change, but now here if I say bar 1, I'll give like top 0 to bar 1, and to bar 2 I will give top 100%. So now the first bar is at the very top, the second bar is now at the very bottom, like this. Now I want to change I do not want to change anything. I want to remove this border. Now we have our hamburger menu here as well, and to this hamburger menu I want cursor to be pointer like this. Here it is with a pointer. Now I want to move to JavaScript so that we can add a click event here. So to main.js, I'll first grab on my hamburger menu, const hamburger equals document.query selector hamburger menu like this. And now if I add an event to this, and the event will listen to a click, then I'll trigger a fat add function, and here I'll just add hamburger.classlist.add cross like this. And if you do not know what this line is doing, so let me explain. I've grabbed on hamburger menu here, so I'm saying I'm adding an event to this hamburger, and I'm adding not an event but an event listener. That means whenever we click or whenever we trigger this event, that means we click this hamburger menu, then this function will fire, and this function is an arrow function here, so this will work. So now let me log it here, log hamburger like this. And now here let me open my console, let me remove this and like this. Now just see, when I click on this I get this, and here I have my hamburger menu with a class of cross. Why? Because I added cross here. But after this okay, so let me close that. And here after doing anything, or sorry, before doing anything to this hamburger menu, I'll say before that hamburger menu dot cross, and this means that I'm adding something to this cross. I'm adding this stylings to my cross element. And here what I want is, when this cross class is added, I want to change the bars, and to override the bars I'll remove this from here. I'll go at the bottom, I'll add this here, and to bars what I want is to give top 50%, but I don't think that would work. Let's see. Okay, so that doesn't work. Why? Because of the specificity. I'll talk about that after I write. If I say bar 1, now if I hit save, and now it should work. Let me reload. Okay, so this is like this, the original, but when I click, the cross class would be added, and when the cross class is added, the first one should get in this middle from top 50%, and as it does now. And I also want to copy this out and paste it here, and I also want it to be bar 2. Reload. Okay, so here we are. So why this worked and the previous one didn't work? That was just because of the specificity. The specificity of ID is greater than the specificity of classes, so that didn't work. Even if I wrote it at the bottom of the page. Okay, now after this what I want is to give transform translate, oh not translate, rotate like this, rotate minus 45 degrees, and to the second one transform rotate 45 degrees, 45 degrees. Save that, and here we'll see our hamburger menu. Okay, now if we click it the second time, what I want is to remove the cross class. So for that, what we can say is, instead of this add, we can add toggle. And what this means is, the very first time if I click, okay, it's not like that, it will just see if the cross class is added or not. If the cross class is added, it will remove the cross class. If the cross class is not added, it will add the cross class, and that's it. So at the very beginning, the cross class is not added, so if I click, the cross class would be added like this. And now if I try to click now, the cross class is added to the hamburger menu. So if I click it again, it would be removed. Now it is removed. So we have done JavaScript part, but now we want to add some cool transitions. For that, what we will do is to my bar I'll give transition all 250 milliseconds is in out like this, and here it is like this. But we do not want like this. We want something like I showed you in my previous project. So for that, what we can say is, instead of this all, we can say top. So that will that means it will only animate the top positions like this. So it animates the top position. Now I also want to I also want to transition the transform property. 250 milliseconds is in out with a delay of 250 milliseconds. Okay, so what I am saying is, first I want this top to be done, so it will now be in the middle. So this is done. Now after 250 milliseconds, so after this 250 milliseconds, after this has transitioned, I want to change the transform property. So I hit save now like this. So the first it will animate the top positions like this and then transform. But if I click it again, so this is not what we want. Now in this case, what we want is, first transform property should animate. First transform property should animate. So many of you will think that you will copy this from here, and in this hamburger menu dot cross dot bar, you will say this. Instead of this transform like this, you will paste it here. So what this means is, first transform this will animate, then this top will animate. Many of you can think, but that will not work like this. So it is changing everything. What is happening here? Why hasn't it worked? So this is because okay, so if I click on it, at the very instant the cross class would be added. It will not take time. It will not take 1 second milliseconds to change. As soon as I click, it will change. So as soon as this cross class is added, see, at this time the cross class is not added. But if the cross class is added, what we want is top should animate first. Or yes, top should animate first. So I do not want delay in this one, but I want delay in this transform property. Now if I hit save and let me just comment this out. Or okay, so after once it has got the cross class and once it has animated, if I click it again, that means if now I am removing the cross class, then what I want is transform should animate first. This one should animate first. Okay, so for that I'll remove the transition delay from here and paste it here. Save that, and now let me reload, and here we go. So we have completed our today's mini project. So if you like the video, hit that like button down below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and press that bell icon to get the instant notification of our latest videos. Thank you for watching.